The hidden secrets of Christmas. In the winter season, around December 25th, the people celebrated the Winter Solstice. Winter Solstice celebration. And so the Winter Solstice would come about somewhere from December 21st all the way to around January 6th or so. And so the people of the North would celebrate different holidays, have different occasions, based upon the winter solstice. In the winter time, there is a period where there is no light, dark night. You are literally in darkness 24 hours of the day, and this stretches for a period of time. Now could you imagine if you were living in Alaska, or living in Canada, or living in Norway.
You're selfish, 9, you're jaded, 8, the dullest guy I did.
And you don't have central heating, and the cold is outside. It's darkness around you. People are dying from disease. It's a terrible time. And every family would probably lose somebody. Or they would know of somebody dying from the cold and disease during that season. This is the winter solstice. And so when the sun starts to come out, the people now are looking at the sun as a life-giving force. And so during that time, a number of ceremonies were held. In northern countries, in the far north, was the Feast of 12 Nights. Which stretched from December 25th to January 6th. Also in ancient Greece. There was the Bacchanalia, which was held for their god Bacchus, the god of wine and sports and play. The Romans had the Saturnalia for their god Saturn, their main sun god Saturn. And so you find, during these times, that the people held ceremonies. They would burn bonfires. The light was important. The fire. Because the fire represents the light. The life-giving force for those who worship nature. Also in the north, they recognize that there was one tree that even that, despite the cold, would still remain alive. The evergreen tree, the fir tree. And so in some cases, they would take this fir tree, believing that there was power of life within the tree, and they would put it in their homes. Set it there and put a light on the top of it.
We can slow dance naked in the moonlight. We can get so down.
Or burn them in the front. Or they would make mistletoes and put them over their doorways. A type of what we would call tawiz or tamima. It is an amulet.
Pariwisata ing Tuban sarwa ana, pantai Bum, pantai Swan, pantai Cemoro.
And they would hang their amulet over their doors. Hang the amulets in their homes, hoping that this fir tree, that this so-called life-giving force, life-giving fir tree.
Oh my God. Can I sing to you? Yeah.
Would protect them from the danger of the winter. And so their ceremonies developed around this. And this went on for hundreds of years. We also find in the ancient northern countries and the Druids of the north, they carried out special ceremonies surrounding the mistletoe and surrounding the fir tree. And the beliefs. And they would meet within circular areas, and they had a secretive cult that spread throughout the far northern countries. One of the interesting individuals, and you can look this up if you can find it in the dictionaries or encyclopedia,
telah lama ku sendiri lewati semua ini tanpa ada,
is a man called Mithra or Mythras. This is a very mysterious character, and when you look at history, you find that this individual, called Mithra, was born on December 25th. His day of the week was the 7th day of the week that we still call Sunday. He was supposed to be the sun.
Cada pôr do sol, libertina tão linda, você sabe que me fascina. Maravilhosa, perfeita, ela dança de panguém. Ai meu Deus, tudo que ela faz eu quero mais. Sempre muito mais, perigosa, marrenta, mas não se dá, eu sou sagrado.
Of the sun god himself. And they had a special sacrament. Made up of bread and wine. They would make this drink during this time. And supposedly he died for the sins of the people. Sound familiar, doesn't it? To be continued.